Back in After Effects, just put this little screen down. I'm going to re-import that file because we need to make sure we get all of the layers. Let's import this as a composition. We want to retain the layer sizes. That's really important. So as you can see, we have a clean plate. Colors are slightly different. But that doesn't matter. We're going to get to that later on. So we need to track this onto our just tracked footage. So let's see what happens. We're going to go open up Mocha. Going to extract the tracking data from the project we just created. Choose our layer. Here we go. We got our tracking data. We look down here, we can see there's a lot of stuff that nobody really cares about. It should work. Now, it's really important that the layer that we're applying the tracking data is exactly the same size as the footage because it's corner pinning. So it needs to make sure it can corner pin correctly, which is why the footage has to be the same size or else everything goes mad. Just trust me, this is the way you have to do it. So we're going to select our layer that we want to apply the footage to, and we're going to hit apply export. This freaked me out too. It's working, but it's not really working. Why is it not working? Well, remember I told you about seeing this guy on YouTube showing me a little trick? They were going to do that. So let's just go back and we're going to remove this. Okay, remove those corner pins. We don't need them. Bum, bum, bum. Reset all this stuff back to its original. Right? Let's go back into Mocha. So the problem was, it's trying to track all that footage and apply it into this scene. But thanks to my very good friend, he showed me a little trick. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell this layer here to expand to fit the screen. Now that looks really weird, but if I play it back, you'll see it's still matching the perspective. It's still tracking fine. We're still good. Everything's happy. It does look a bit weird, I'll give you that, but it's all good, right? So we're going to save it again. We're going to jump back into After Effects. Really important to create tracking data again, okay? Now we're going to apply that to the footage again. Now we have a clean plate, which is perfectly locked onto the footage. Now, you need to create a matte. This is super important, okay? So I'm going to switch it off. This looks really strange, right? It's not got a matte. It's in the wrong position. So another handy little Boris trick. We're going to take our matte from the original file. We're going to switch it on. There's the matte. Finally. Okay, we have our locked matte. It's tracked in position. There we go. I messed up on my layers, which ones I was going to choose, but that's okay. You know what? I'm just trying to do this as quickly as possible for you. Okay, so we have certain areas here that are a problem. This is cutting over the top, which obviously is a bit of a problem. So what I did there was I went through in After Effects, I created a mask, right? I motion tracked this frame by frame to the top of the wall. So you basically go through, you create your initial mask, go to track, and again, similar to Boris, you click here, and it's going to track each individual frame for you. It switches off the background just to make sure it's working okay. And sometimes it needs a bit of work, it needs a bit of help. You'll get there. Go through it forwards and backwards. You're going to get there in the end. Now, you're going to see there's a little bit of a color difference between my plate here and the one in the background. Later in the video, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of exposure control, and we're going to adjust our gamma here. 1.2, something like that. We'll end up making it invisible. Okay, next step, we have that track data. Yeah, we put it into, we captured it. I showed you how to do that, but then I cheated by going back to the version I did in the original video because I'm really impatient, man. I took my layer, I pre-comped it. It's in the data, okay? It's tracked, it's in there, right? But it's still the wall. So how are we going to make that happen? How are we going to put the character onto that wall and switch off the wall? Well, that's pretty easy. We've already got the tracking data. We don't really need to do that again. So we're just going to go here, going to take our character, which we created earlier on. We click this in, he's on the wall. So that's our plate. Locked, nothing in front of it, everything's working. But at the minute he's not moving. That's the next step of the process. Let's do that.